pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Here.
Councilman McCarthy?
Here.
Councilman Wareheim?
Here.
Councilman Creighton?
Here.
Councilwoman No.
Yes, here.
Public hearings today, the town board to consider various proposed amendments to Chapter 322 of the Code of the Town entitled Building Zone Ordinances.
Good afternoon, Supervisor Vecchio and members of the town board. My name is David Flynn, Town Planning Director. I'm here today to explain the purpose of the public hearing and some of the gist of it. The purpose of the hearing is to elicit public comment on some amendments proposed to the zoning ordinance, and they've been proposed by the Town Planning Department. Basically, to summarize it, there are about 6 minor changes to modernize the zoning ordinance. One is to eliminate the requirements having to do with coin-operated machines. A second is to eliminate the requirements having to do with commercial centers. A third is to change the word in the ordinance to dance club to be consistent with the word elsewhere. It was something that was intended to be changed in 2012 and was missed. A fourth has to do with dumpster locations, dumpster pads. A fifth having to do with irrigation and commercial properties. And lastly, has to do with the town board's authority to require parkland as a condition of approval on commercial developments that involve residential uses. So basically, the recommendation to eliminate the requirements of coin-operated machines is those requirements were adopted before the site plan review section. So they were really rendered obsolete when the Board of Site Plan Review was created in 1966. So they seem to be redundant. I'm not aware of any applications for any of these uses under these old provisions since at least 1977. The second has to do with eliminating the requirements for commercial centers. And similarly, these provisions were adopted before there was a Board of Site Plan Review. So in the late 1950s, certain commercial centers needed planning board approval. In the mid-1960s, all commercial uses required Board of Site Plan Review approval. So you had a scenario where, or a situation where people required approvals from 2 boards, and one board is appointed by the other board. So the awkwardness, the potential for conflicts were sort of high. And these provisions have been only sporadically enforced, very, very uncommon. And if we had to follow the letter of the law, it would slow down the application process a real lot. And I don't think there would be any public benefit since the Board of Site Plan Review is already empowered to look at everything that the planning board is under commercial centers. The part having to do with refuse enclosures, we're recommending eliminating the requirement because the Board of Site Plan Review has the discretion to require enclosures even if the requirement disappears. There are some situations where the enclosure is more offensive than the dumpster. The dumpsters are small offices need very small refuse containers. Similarly, in an effort to make the town, and I didn't mean this as a pun, but to make the town greener is to eliminate the requirement for irrigation. Greener meaning sustainable. When we were working on updating the master plan, we found that there's an enormous use of water during the summer for irrigation purposes. One of the ways to make the town more sustainable is to require more xerophytic or more drought-tolerant planting instead of things that require water. If the irrigation requirement were eliminated, the Board of Site Plan Review still has the discretion to require it at times when you see fit. And then lastly, sometime in the 1990s, the state enabling legislation was modified to give towns, villages, and cities the authority to require the reservation of parkland for commercial development that involves residential uses. Prior to that time, this requirement or this authority existed only with respect to subdivisions. But if someone were building apartments or condos, up until the 1990s, under the state laws, they were exempt from having to provide their fair share of parkland. So if the ordinance were amended the way that we recommend, we would be bringing the town up to speed with respect to the state enabling legislation, and the town board could, on a case-by-case basis, require either the reservation of parkland for the uses that I mentioned before, or if there's no suitable location on the property, to require the developer to contribute to the town park fund, which is to be used for parkland. That's my presentation. Do you have any questions?
I don't. Anybody in the audience wish to be heard on this?
Could you, David, could you go back to item number 5, the irrigation?
Sure.
Explain that a little more, please.
In the zoning ordinance, in the mid 1980s, the planning department recommended to the town board to put a requirement into the zoning ordinance to mandate irrigation on all new commercial uses. It seemed, I guess you might say, progressive at that time. So irrigation in underground or permanent irrigation has been required ever since then on all site plans that have been approved. What I'm recommending is deleting the mandate, and the Board of Site Plan Review still has the flexibility to require irrigation on a case-by-case basis. But if someone preserved vegetation or used drought-resistant vegetation like junipers or cedars or other things that grow well in sandy soil and don't require irrigation, the developer isn't automatically required to put irrigation in. If you look at graphs of water usage by the Suffolk County Water, or by customers of the Suffolk County Water Authority, you see that there's a big bulge in usage in the summer. It's really dramatic. It's not a little blip, but it's an enormous increase in water. To try to make Long Island, Suffolk County, and our town more sustainable, I would recommend that we try to reduce water consumption where you can. And so this proposal means that the Board of Site Plan Review would require irrigation when the board thinks it's the right thing to do, and not require it where the board thinks it's not the right thing to do.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? I'll move to close the meeting.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
And Councilwoman Miller?
Yes. The next public hearing is the town board to consider proposed local law number 3-2015 to amend chapter 322 of the code entitled Supplementary Use and Building Regulations.
Good afternoon, Supervisor, members of the Town Board. My name is Janice Hansen, and I'm an Assistant Town Attorney for the Town of Smithtown. The purpose of this public hearing is to consider the adoption of proposed local law 3-2015, which is an amendment to Section 322-19E of the Town Code. Section 322-19E currently prohibits structures from being constructed, enlarged, altered, or replaced within 10 feet of any slope higher than 5 feet and having a slope greater than 15%.
Could you get within 10 feet of what?
Any slope higher than 5 feet
Okay.
and having a slope greater than 15%. And this amendment would increase that slope percentage from 15% to 25%. Unless there are any questions, that concludes my presentation.
Anyone wish to be heard on this matter? I'll move to close the hearing.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Minogue?
Yes.
Okay, we move to correspondence. We have a second reading for Smithtown 350-year celebration parade. Second reading for Smithtown High School East Homecoming Parade. Second reading for the Suffolk County Kennel Dog Show. A first reading for Kings Park High School Homecoming Parade. First reading for Borellis Farm Stand Fall Festival. And a first reading for, well, the building department report is on file with the clerk for anyone's perusal. Anybody wish to be heard for or against those permits? We'll move on. Advertise for public hearing. Town Board to authorize clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held at Town Hall on September 8th, 2015, at 2 p.m. to consider the application for renewal by Suffolk Cable of Smithtown, Inc., which is called Cablevision, of its cable television franchise with the town.
Councilwoman Nork?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes, Town Board to authorize the clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held at Town Hall on 8th of December at 2 p.m. to consider proposed local law 4-2015, adopting a new section of Chapter 135 of the Code entitled Dogs and Other Animals.
Councilwoman Nork?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Under resolutions, the town board is to do study and deliberation of the subject record to issue a secret negative declaration of termination of non-significance in the matter of application for site plan for New York SMSA Limited Partnership Verizon Wireless for Holy Cross Church dated August 3rd, 2015, and application for site plan approval for Long Island Sports Arena as per the printed agenda.
Councilwoman Nork?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
All right, number 2, the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for the following bids to be returnable as dates noted at 11 a.m. to A, B, C, and D, a catch basin cleaning unit, road and maintenance landscape material, crack and joint sealing, and emergency standby generator.
Councilwoman Nork?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
All right, number 3, the town board to approve the following town board regular meeting minutes July 13th, 2015, 2 p.m. Town board regular meeting June 2nd, 2015, 2 p.m. And then we have B through L, Highway Department to purchase a 6-wheel dump truck. Addition to Empire National Bank and Bridgehampton National Bank's successor to Community National Bank. D, pursuant to public hearing held in Town Board June 2nd, 2 p.m., Town of Smithtown Town Hall, New York, whereas the board considers entry onto Thomas and Veronica's Duncan's property. E, to town to lease a copier for Toshiba Solutions for the supervisor's office. F, waiver of adoption fees for animals at the animal shelter. G, levy of costs and expenses by the town of Smithtown, $2,583.90 in conjunction with removal of violations of the property at 58 Wyandanch Boulevard. H, town clerk to issue a parade run walk permit to Smithtown 350 Foundation. I, the town clerk to issue a parade run walk permit to Smithtown High School East. J, town clerk to issue a parade run walk to Suffolk County Kennel Club. K, Department of Public Safety grant application for funds available through the Long Island Government Efficiency. And L, Department of Public Safety grant application for New York State DEC Water and Quality Improvement Program. M, pursuant to public hearing held Town Board July 4th, 2 p.m. Let's see what's this about. Entry onto property at 4 Grandview Lane in Smithtown for remediation. N, pursuant to public hearing Town Board July 14th at Town of Smithtown Town Hall, whereas the board considered empty onto a real property at 170 State Route 111, Smithtown, New York, for violations. O, recertification of records of elected officials below which are reported to the New York State and local retirement system. P, donation from Pamela M. Schmidt of a monument for the Kings Park Bluff. Q, building department to lease 2 copiers from Toshiba Building. R, Glenn Jorgensen, Superintendent of Highway, to execute an amendment agreement with the New York State of New York regarding snow and ice removals. S, agreement with adopt Town of Smithtown debris management plan, and that's it.
Councilwoman Nork?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Abstain on O, yes on the rest.
And Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Number 4, the town board to authorize the acceptance of the following for 4A, B, and C, acceptance of cash donation, B, cash donation, and C, escrows.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
yes,
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Town board to authorize the controller to execute the following as per 5A through L of the printed agenda, which is basically decrease in accounts, increase in accounts, and transfers.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
yes,
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Town board to authorize supervisor to execute the following form approved by the town attorney as 6A through L. An agreement for provide services, doctor and medical director of Horizons and Counseling Education Center, agreement with H2M Architects and Engineers, agreement to provide veterinary service to the town's animals at Hoyt Farm, specialized service agreement with Abercadoodle for the period of July 6, 2015 through August 28, 2015. Third-party custody agreement with Manufacturers and Traders Trust Company and custodian of Bridgehampton National Bank. F, third-party agreement with M&T Bank, custodian Empire National Bank. G, extension of agreement to 1 year to 2016 for use of the Firematic track with the Village of Nessaquag and fire districts on the attached list. H, mutual aid and assistance agreement. I, intermunicipal agreement with Kings Park School District. J, amendment to the summary plan description for the town's flexible spending account to include in provisions non-discrimination requirements. K, 2015 Youth Bureau Suffolk County State Aid Contract. And L, agreement with EAC Inc. to provide professional coordination and implementation of bicycle roadies as part of the Youth Bureau's Safe Bike Route to School grants, New York State Department of Transportation.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
yes,
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
And this is number 7, the town board to approve settlement in the following matters per recommendations of the town attorney as per A and B for the amounts of $161.90 and $636.07.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
yes,
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
The town board to authorize the release of the following for 8A escrows in the amount on that agenda item.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
yes,
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Number 9, the town board to approve the following personnel matters per 9A through G. Seasonal reappointment, part-time appointment, a transfer, reassignment, and change of status.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
yes,
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
I have one other to read on.
Traffic.
Traffic. What's traffic? Did he finish?
We got traffic.
Traffic.
Is there anything under that? I thought
Yeah.
it looked like Schedule
Yeah,
J and standing and stopping for what, though?
it's for a sign that says no parking after 7
Okay, that should be on here. Okay. All right, town board to authorize the following amendments for Uniform Traffic Code and to authorize the Traffic Safety Department to install and maintain the necessary sign as Schedule J, parking and standing and stopping for where?
Gordon Gates, St. James.
Gordon Gates, St. James?
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
yes,
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes. The town board to also approve and accept the amount of $5,510 for the sale of surplus town equipment from the Department of Parks, Buildings and Grounds.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
yes,
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
I'd like to do a read on, Mr. Vecchio,
Sure.
please. Do I need a second on that, Vinnie?
Yes, you do.
Second.
You want to read it?
The establishment of the minimum wage rate of $9 per hour for town employees effective April 1st, 2016.
Okay, and that was seconded by Councilman Warehime. Councilwoman Norwood?
I'm going to make a motion to table.
First we have,
What just occurred here, there was a yes on 2 votes,
yes,
okay, and Mrs. Noack just made a motion to move to table.
okay.
Second then.
Is that
also.
correct?
Yeah, all right, so in lieu of the motion, she's making a motion to table it. Who seconded it?
Yeah.
A motion by Councilwoman Norwood, second by Councilman McCarthy. Supervisor Vecchio?
Agreed to table.
You table? Councilman Creighton?
Agreed.
Okay, Councilman Wareham.
Fine.
So it's, your resolution's been withdrawn, and the table has been unanimous.
Okay, you'll do the motorcycle.
Yes, we have site plans. Let's get to site plans.
Sitting as a board of site plan review, town board to approve, conditionally approved site plan number 15-10 Sports Arena for a proposed 6,300 square foot addition for commercial public recreation use. Location is Broadley Avenue and Middle Country Road. Also conditionally approved the site plan for proposed installation of wireless communications equipment within a proposed 10-foot bell tower extension on Nichols Road, north of Rolling Hills Drive.
Councilwoman Minoik?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Will now sit as a Board of Water Commissioners. The Board of Water Commissioners to authorize the following transfer from account SW18340-0250 water flow line improvement in the amount of $40,000 and transfer that amount to account number SW18340-0450.
Councilwoman Minoik?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes. Those wishing to be heard, Peter Marmorato. Please, yes.
My name is Pam Schmidt. I don't know if we need to speak if is it approved or?
It was approved, yes,
So-
it was.
Okay, great. I guess, thank you. And just wanted to say that I have created this page, A Voice for the Bluff. It's on Facebook, and so you know that there are unanimously many supporters in Kings Park and the town of Smithtown that support this monument, not only in the acknowledgement for the history of the bluff, the Kings Park Bluff in regard to its location, but also to the people themselves and their identities. And I just wanted you all to have a copy of what it would look like. Pete has agreed to donate the stone and donate the work done to not only create the stone and install it as well. So, may I?
Sure.
I only have 3 copies.
We'll share.
I think we saw one already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
we
first
did. I saw
page
this.
is
Change it, we have to change an item on the agenda.
on the monument itself, and the second page is the location where it would go. Entering the bluff, there is that fake lighthouse, that little island there, along with a large boulder, and the monument would be placed directly in front of that boulder. It just looks like the perfect spot. The reason why that location was selected was because to erect a monument anywhere near the water area, you know, there's incredible erosion issues there, and it would just kind of keep it away from that altogether. And it would look very pretty, actually, just to enter the bluff and see it there. The last page is the actual stone itself. I have a photograph of that, and that would be, again, like I said, donated by Pete. So, thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think we have to thank Pete.
Yes, yes.
You're all welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Mr. Town Attorney, we need to change that resolution.
Is there a certain
Is
time?
accepting the resolution from Pam Schmidt, and she just indicated he's the one donating the,
Yeah, but I did send a proposal here to the town.
well, that's okay. It really doesn't have anything to you.
Okay,
We're accepting the donation of $2,100 from him, not from Pam Schmidt. Okay? Would
Right.
you make that change? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you again.
Nail it, or you have to bring a piece of paper.
let's go celebrate.
Tim
Just do
Durkin?
it on the record.
Yeah, Penny has it.
Tim Durkin?
Just gotta get his name, his address.
Yeah.
Good
Name
afternoon,
and address?
I don't remember.
members of the board. I'm Jerry Chastain, and I'm a local contractor in the town of Smithtown. Tim Durkin had just, you guys just heard about his house being on the block to be removed from the town because it's a blighted site. It's really a dangerous condition. And he just recently had received a set of blueprints from an architect. We just went through the building department and got a set of, an approved set of plans from the architect, and went through the building department and got a permit, and now he's prepared to start building the house. So I
Okay.
know you guys voted on it, but I wanted to let you guys know that he signed a contract with my company, and now we're ready to start construction
So
on it.
he's then requesting an extension.
Well, we spoke to the town attorney, and he said it's going to take a couple of weeks, 4 or 5 weeks for that whole
Okay.
next process. So in the interim, as we're building it, you
Got
guys
it.
will see that.
I understand. Okay, thank you.
Any
Okay.
site- Is
Thank
there
you.
any site work that you can do to clean up the place, to make it look presentable while you're doing your paperwork?
Yeah, we just started that on Friday of last
Okay,
week.
great.
And we didn't want to get too far along until the permit was issued, because there's a gray area there where you go a little too far and it could
Yeah, I
really stop.
understand, I understand.
Where was
Okay?
this?
Susan,
So just to let you know that we entered a contract and we are going to start construction at Thursday.
Matthew, you know about it? You all set? Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll move to close the meeting.
Second?
Supervisor Vecchio,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim,
Yes.
Councilman Creighton,
yes.
and Councilwoman Noel.
Yes.
So Susan, you got that change?